Just relax. You're safe.
A few months. Just goes so quick, you know. Maybe.
Ages.
I don't know.
Just stay for the weekend. We should sort things out.
To Emily.
Emily.
Oh, you're not who I was expecting.
Christina?
Of course. Why don't you come in?
Oh,
Did.
I was just wondering if you had some insight into why she would take her own life.
I'm sorry, but most of what was discussed is covered by a confidentiality agreement with my clients. I really can't help you with that. Maybe you could tell me what's troubling you? Not like this. It would be more helpful if you could be in a more relaxed state of mind.
What?
And listen carefully to my voice. Oh, come on, Christina, you need to trust me. Go there. In your mind. That's good, Christina. The higher you go up the steps, the deeper you go into yourself. What has scared you recently? Believe in ghosts?
I never used to. But now I'm not sure.
It's all right not to be sure. They are, after all, just a figment of our imaginations, representations of our anxieties and guilt.
Then why would I see one?
Our minds see what they want us to see. Do you believe in the afterlife?
Yes. No.
Voilà, nous allons... Non, 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 surtout ne faites pas ça. Ce sont que des failles. Non. Voilà. Et la dernière fois que vous êtes venu, vous avez bien vu, il faut rester calme. Et vous verrez la prochaine fois, nous en reparlerons. Voilà. Et vous verrez, ça sera beaucoup mieux pour vous. Hein. Ah non, surtout pas, ne faites pas ça. Voilà. Et je vous verrai, oui. Peut-être plus tard, après, oui. Patience. Il faut beaucoup de patience.
Christina, over here. Come on, over here. Over here, Christina.
It's about Emily. I just wanted to better understand what happened.
Friends and family have all sorts of feelings after an event like this. Guilt is very common.
I can understand that. But this was something else.
Yes? Maybe it has something to do with the story of Agnes.
And what happened?
It's a local legend. It dates back to the 18th century. She was a maid who worked in the Lord's estate. Her parents brought her over from Sweden when they came to work here. The story goes that she had an affair with the Lord. When she fell pregnant, he was horrified that she wanted to legitimize the relationship. It was all very different back then, of course.
So what did she do?
Well, when she refused to back down, he threw her out. It was very cruel. Her parents weren't around for her, and as a single pregnant woman back then, your choices were very limited. Out of options and without any hope, she threw herself into the lake on the Lord's estate, drowned herself and the unborn child.
And that's where the ghost stories come from.
Thanks, Anne. Bye. Not exactly. It's said that she cursed the area with her death, and that her spirit returns to taunt young women into taking their own lives. It's all nonsense, of course.
I guess Emily believed it. Because she really seemed to think she was being haunted.
Doesn't help that Alexander keeps talking about it. He's the Lord's descendant.
He lives here in the village.
Yes. The estate's had the same family and for hundreds of years. I wouldn't recommend talking to him about this. It's not the kind of thing you want to hear when you've just lost a friend in the way that you have. Can be a little bit grumpy too.
Hello, Alexander?
Yes, what do you want?
I believe I met a colleague of yours today, Dominique. She mentioned to me that you worked at the clinic. I was hoping I could ask you some questions.
Very well. Come in.
Thank you. This is my friend Emily. She passed away recently.
Yes. I was at the clinic when your friend was there, but purely in an advisory capacity. I couldn't comment on her treatment.
Why did the clinic close?
Yeah. Series of patient disappearances. Suicides. Over the years, it led to its closure.
I spoke to the vicar, and he told me the story of Agnes.
That man's a fool. He believes in God, but doubts the existence of evil. Ridiculous.
So you believe there's some truth in this curse?
Oh, yes. This house has been under dark clouds for hundreds of years. Ever since my ancestor foolishly impregnated that stupid maid.
Have you seen her?
Of course. She haunted this house for years, burning the life out of anybody who lived under its roof. Yeah, the good Reverend hasn't told you the full story, has he? My ancestor was an arrogant man. He was also stupid. A man in his position should never have gone near one of his domestic staff. I mean, a maid, for goodness sake. I suppose her being Swedish must have added an air of exoticism. Of course, the inevitable happened. Usually these things are handled discreetly, but for some reason she thought he would acknowledge her as the father of her child. A preposterous idea back then. She had to leave, of course.
How can you do this to me? How can you do this to me? I am your child. Okej! Jag går! Men jag hatar dig för att göra handen! Förbanna dig och ditt hus!
The other staff turned their backs on her. Nobody in the village would help. Quite alone, with no family to turn to, she was left with almost no choice. They say that a soul that dies in a state of rage leaves a curse. Well, Agnes cursed us all that day.
So people believe these deaths were because of her.
Records in this house were very carefully kept. Particularly so on an estate so heavily reliant on agriculture. The phases of the moon were noted. Agnes's death was remarked on at the time because of the blood moon that appeared in the sky on the night of her death.
A lunar eclipse.
Indeed. 2 years on, and Agnes was barely remembered, until the next blood moon appeared in the sky. That night, a maid in the house swore she'd seen Agnes on the stairs, whispering to her. The days went on, and she became more and more hysterical, claiming she heard Agnes speaking to her wherever she went. The next morning, the estate steward found the maid hanging from a tree. After that, we grew to fear the appearance of a blood moon.
Even now.
Let me show you something. Out there used to be the outbuildings that the servants lived in.
What happened?
I had it burned to the ground. When one of the servants started complaining about a woman who'd be seen in the building at night, I'd finally had enough.
So you set it on fire.
Fire was the only way to drive her out. The vicar's predecessor was very helpful in this matter. He was a far more enlightened man.
Did she ever come back?
I had the grounds of the house lined with salt. She never returned.
But has she been seen in the village?
Oh, yes. By the lake where she died. I really don't recommend you go there. Look, I hope you find your answers. But if I were you, I'd leave this accursed place.
Excuse me, do you know where the old clinic is?
You mean the asylum?
Yeah, it used to be mental health.
Yeah, that's it. The old mental place. They turn it into houses now. Follow the road up, half a mile, and turn right.
Thanks.
Yeah. You watch yourself up there. Pretty girl like you. All sorts of weirdos hanging about that place.
Yeah, thank you.
The mental people go about there sometimes. Watch your step. Not that I'm prejudiced or anything.
Hello? Anybody here?
Close sight. What did you think you were doing, wandering about like that?
If I was a patient here, I just wanted to see it for myself.
I don't think so. Well, this place has been closed more than 20 years.
No, she was here 2 years ago.
This place was closed up after the fire broke out on the ward. They moved all the mental stuff to some other place.
Hello again. I'm just on my way to visit someone. Is it urgent?
Just wanted to know if you recognize this person.
Christina, I think you're having a hard time accepting Emily's gone.
Please, I really need to know this.
Her name's Lucy. She disappeared 3 years ago.
Do you know why?
Apparently, she started saying that she was visited by a woman called Agnes, who started talking to her at night.
As in Agnes from the story you told me.
First, I just thought it was hysteria, mental illness, manifesting itself in hallucinations.
And do you still believe that now?
I was called away on parish business for 2 days. When I returned, I was told that she walked out of the house in the night and disappeared. It's troubled me ever since.
Could you tell me where he lives?
If you must speak to him, be careful. He's quite delicate. He lives on his own now.
This is so awkward.
Hello, Matthew?
It is. What can I do for you?
We were wondering if we could talk to you about your daughter.
Oh. Well, I suppose you'd better come in then.
Our friend recently passed away, and we felt that it might have something to do with what happened to your daughter.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear about your friend, but I can't see what it would have to do with Lucy.
Our friend Emily had an interest in what happened to your daughter. She had a photo of her.
Why would she be interested in someone who ran away from home?
Are you sure that she ran away?
Well, of course I am. What else would have happened?
Did she talk about anything strange before she ran away?
No, nothing I can think of.
It's probably just a coincidence. My friend's sister actually ran away from home. She was gone a year before she got back in contact with her parents. So there's always hope.
Well, I do wonder when she'll get back in touch. It's so very difficult not knowing.
I can just imagine.
Listen, is there anything I can do to help?
Have you never thought that maybe she's not coming back?
wasn't that bloody vicar. She is coming back. She's fine.
I don't think that's what she meant.
Look, I want both of you out of my house now.
That could have gone better.
Go on, say it.
What, that sometimes it's better to let me do the talking?
Don't you think he was a bit of a creep? The way he was looking at us.
Yeah, you managed to get a lonely guy to chuck 2 women out of his house. Quite an achievement.
Shut up. Besides, I've got an idea.
Hi. Sorry, I thought I should come and apologise for my friend's behaviour. Do you mind if I come back in?
All right, come in then.
Yes, look, I'm sorry, I probably overreacted, but yeah. It's been a terrible time for me. I mean, if you can imagine, I have to say my wife has probably made things worse. She's constantly at me for support, financial, I mean.
Can't believe.
How can you kill you? Do you think we should be doing this?
About what? Hold on, Charlotte. I can hear the road.
Christina? It's Charlotte. I know you don't want to talk to anybody right now, and I understand that. But thank you for what you did. I know you weren't sure about the risks we'll be taking, but you know we had to do it to find out the truth about Emily. I don't blame you for what happened. Help feeling that there's more to all this than we know. We should go back and try and figure out what really happened. For Emily's sake. It just felt like there was something we missed. Anyway, I know she'd be proud of what we did. Maybe. I'll speak to you soon, okay? Bye.
You let me down, Christina. There was so much more for you to find out. I'll be waiting.